Selena, Selena. Selena, Selena. Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Ooh, what we talking about? What are we talking about? Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Girl, you know I wanna hear it all. I know you got the tea right, right. Lighten up the city right, city light. Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Ooh, what we talking about? What are we talking about? Selena, Selena. Selena, Selena. Selena, Selena. Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Ooh, what we talking about? What are we talking about? Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Girl, you know I wanna hear it all. I know you got the tea right, right. Lighten up the city right, city light. Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Ooh, what we talking about? What are we talking about? Selena, Selena.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome for those who come in and join my live stream. Was going to do an upload, but when I was trying to do an upload, I pushed live. So now I'm live. This is a late live. I'm about to go to sleep in a few minutes, so probably the max I would be on here would maybe be 20 minutes. But I wanted to talk a little bit about how sometimes it's best for you to just to stay quiet and observe. Um, Sometimes you don't always have to speak on things that you see. Sometimes you just have to learn to see what you see and be quiet. Just because you feel a way or you have an opinion or you see something, it may not be the time or the place to speak on certain things. And one thing that I've learned, especially being um, an adult, working in different professions and working around different people and personalities, even being on this app, a lot of the times you need to keep your opinions to yourself, especially when no one asks. And even when people ask, be very leery and observant before and I would say intentional about how you answer a question. Some people ask you questions so they can get you in some beef or some issues, or they can pass that information to another person. And then once it goes to the other person, it takes legs and arms and it becomes a whole different other thing, a whole different other story. So you have to be extremely take precaution when you speak to people about certain things, when you speak your opinion about certain things. I see a lot of foolery, a lot of fakery. Um, Everywhere you go, you're gonna see something that's like, really. But I have learned that just because you see it, that don't mean you need to speak on it. Who are you? And then again, hey, I can't tell people what to do. I can only tell myself. But I know for me, keeping your mouth quiet and observing keeps you out of a lot of trouble. It keeps you out of harm way. Not saying be a punk. I'm not saying if it's something that is serious or something that you feel is vital to tell someone something. I'm not saying not to say it, but when you become mature, and hopefully you will become mature, not just in age, but in wisdom, you'll know when to speak and when to leave stuff alone. And sometimes people just need to leave things alone where they are. It's not up for you to put your opinion and your 2 cents in, especially when no one asked. Um, Speaking your mind is not always a good thing. I used to hear a saying when I was growing up, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything. And we need, as adults, we need to take that same advice as we get older. If you don't have nothing nice to say, just be quiet. That will help you out a lot. You don't always have to speak. You don't always have to talk about what you think, what you believe, how you see it, what's your perspective. For the most part, no one cares. And you could be putting more fuel on the fire more than you think. I've learned as I am maturing, not just in age, but in common sense and wisdom. A lot of the things you may think may not be appropriate to say at that time, but you have a lot of people that like F it. I'm gonna say whatever I wanna say. And then they find themselves in a whole bunch of drama, a whole bunch of mess because they just couldn't shut up. Isn't that amazing how we see so many situations where people just can't shut up and they end up in more and more and more mess. They end up in more and more problems because they just don't know when to stop. Well, that's really all I have to say tonight. Again, I'm going to rest my beautiful eyes, but I wanted to leave this on your mind that there's a time and a place for everything. And in Ecclesiastes, there's a season for everything. There's a season for everything, which meaning there is a time to speak and there's a time to be quiet. And most people, if they learn to be quiet, they will keep themselves out of a lot of problems. But when you have people that don't know when to shut up, when they don't know when to be quiet, you will find out that they are in so much mess and so much problems. I think about if I in the past could have just shut up, I would be so much farther ahead. I could have avoided so many pitfalls. I could have avoided so many things if I could just learn to shut up. But thank God I have learned and I am learning. And it's helping me and benefiting me to sometimes just learn to shut up. You guys be blessed. And I hope that whoever hears this message, that it will help, that it will penetrate in your ears, that you will understand it and take heed to it. Everything don't need to be said. Some things you just need to be quiet. Love y'all to Reese's Pieces. Bye.